We start recording in August. I think we've got some time before the recording session scheduled to rehearse and go through the tracks and make sure that we all know what direction we're doing and that sort of thing, and that the arrangements are right. And then we start recording. I think it's the second week of August. I think we maybe have about a week, or just over a week, to lay down the tracks. And then I'll come back in and sing the tracks again, record again with the orchestra. So we're going to have both orchestra and band on the album too. I know a few. We're still fine tuning the album at the moment, but there's 3 tracks that we definitely know that we're performing live at the minute. One is Rank Strangers, which is an old American folk song, and tells a story of a Civil War soldier returning home to his hometown and not recognising anybody anymore, and nobody knowing him. He'd been away for so long, and a lot of his friends had been killed in battle. So he was basically coming home, not knowing anybody, and feeling a stranger in his own town. So that's Rank Strangers. There's a song called Angels from Montgomery that we're doing, which is a beautiful song by John Prine, who's an American singer-songwriter, and that tells the story of an old woman who's tired of her everyday life, sort of thing. You know, her husband, they don't have much of a social life, they don't talk to each other. Her husband spends most of his time watching TV, drinking a beer, and he'll come home from work, expect his meal on the table, and then go to bed and get up and go to work again, and that's the extent of her existence. And it's a bit sort of depressing, but she sings this beautiful song to herself when she's on her own in her home, just to try and uplift her spirits and believe that there's more to life than this. And that's called Angels from Montgomery. And it's an amazing song, amazing lyrics, amazing melody. So that's definitely on the album. And the last track that we know is the Rolling Stones song Shine a Light, because again that's quite a strong song to sing. The music, the story in it is quite intense, but it's quite an uplifting melody, an uplifting one as well, you know. And it's nice to throw a Stones track on the album because of them celebrating 50 years in the business, which is something I'd like to do one day. So, which I've just realised I'd probably be 90, so maybe I won't celebrate 50 years in the business. I love, I mean, without a doubt, hands down, it's singing live. But there's something about being in the studio, the creative world that you're in there, that I have always loved. Since I first recorded with the D'Oyly Carte Opera Company in Abbey Road, I just fell in love with recording in itself, and it was just a magical thing to be involved in. How you can create history in something. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there for people to hear through the time, and it's nice to have that that luxury. But I think performing live is what the job is really about. You know, it's taking the music out to the people and showing them what you can do, that you are real, that it's not all just on a recording. That's actually something I'm not really involved with. It depends really, the producer, where they prefer to work. Depends on the record company decisions really, that you know, where they would like to send me to record and who they want to try out and that sort of business. So that's something I don't really get involved in, you know. And I'm very fortunate that I've recorded in some wonderful places. I think the next album we're working, you know, in August, we'll be recording in London at a studio called Rack Studios, which is literally around the corner from Abbey Road. So it's not far from a lot of recording history, and it's has its own history as well. There's a lot of big artists that have worked there and good projects that it's produced. So I'm looking forward to that studio, working there for a while.